I'm Bela. I'm your host for today's MixChat, another interesting aviation conversation. Joining us today is Matthieu Orioli as the co-founder and COO of SimplyJet. Welcome, Matthieu. Welcome, Matt.
Good morning, Bella.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you very much.
How's the show been so far?
Oh, as always, extremely intense, but full of
Always
discoveries and
intense.
plenty of human relationships.
That's good. Matt, as the co-founder and COO of SimplyJet,
Yes.
can you share the story and behind the founding of SimplyJet?
Sure. So at first, I'm a student, actually at the École Hôtelière de Lausanne, one of the finest and top-notch school and of Swiss hospitality, actually based in Lausanne. And I am lucky enough to have an internship in private aviation, and then I discovered that industry and the uncommon dynamism in it. And I just thought, wow, this is really interesting, and it's really, really moving quickly. And then I was lucky enough to meet Jan quite quickly. We worked in private aviation together, and we built our business plan, and we're ready for it.
That's good. So your motivation you find daily, or what motivates you to embark on this journey every day?
Entrepreneurship.
Always.
No doubt. It's really it's basically the growth that I'm interested in. So at SimplyJet, we want to add services nonstop. We actually add sales and acquisition, had recently a couple of transactions, welcomed as sales agent a PC-24, and we
Okay.
moved from ad hoc charter to commercial charter as well.
Oh, good.
Hopefully, maybe one day cargo. And this content growth.
Constant expansion.
Exactly, and it's really fascinating, and what fascinates me. So, and I said that the other day in an interview with a very junior. I said, if it's not to grow, I am out. I know it sounds very straightforward, but that's who I am.
No. I think that's very admirable. You
Thank
need to
you.
keep growing, otherwise we stagnate, right?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. But it's challenges as well, and we have to remain humble because growth might not be around the corner all the
No.
time, and we might not always be picking or choosing the right, the right expansion and the right services.
Yes.
However, I trust we do things well, and our growth is the proof.
And you find the current times challenging? What?
Yes, they are. I mean, since COVID, let's be honest, it has been challenging for everyone. Last year, the entire market was actually down. It's absolutely not a growth. So how do you grow as a
I
company?
think everybody suffered from that.
Absolutely. How do you grow as a company in a market that is actually not growing, but the opposite? You need to find ways, and you need indeed to be inventive.
Yes, indeed. Can you give us a glimpse into your typical day as the COO of SimplyJet?
With great pleasure. Oh, it changed a lot, Bella. It did. It changed a lot. So I always was the main recruiter, really. So I'm the lucky one being able to pick and choose driven, like-minded individual that I like very much. And
Very important.
absolutely. And so I am also lucky enough to be training them, so responsible for their trainings, and from day one until the end of time, until forever, because of course you learn every day. Every flight is different, every provider is different. every
Constant
client-
learning experience.
Absolutely. And so it changed a lot recently because due to our growth, of course, the volume of requests and of situations that I have to solve on a daily basis has increased drastically. So beforehand, I would have to solve 1-2 situations a week, and now it's every day, a couple of times a day. But I'm really happy to be doing that because I can be then the link between our providers, the operators, our brokers, of course, and the end client. So I'm supportive in a way from A to Z, and I'm really the ground of every single broker at SimplyJet, and I am happy they can rely on me and they understand every situation the way we want at SimplyJet to be them to be treated.
That's good.
And that's the same with the clients and with the providers and the operators, really, because we need to be extremely clear and rational and extremely quick sometimes in the decision-making process.
Oh, yes.
And this is really impressive. Within
Time is
15
of
minutes.
essence in the aviation
Exactly.
business. Yes.
And so I'm glad to be that link between all of the three stakeholders.
So as a successful entrepreneur, what advice would you give to the upcoming starters in
Right.
the aviation industry?
Right. Don't think too much, do things. take
I
some
agree
time
with
under the
you.
shower from time to think about the strategy,
Yeah.
do things, be convinced, go forward, and for sure, choose the right team. And sometimes don't
Oh,
be
yes.
too exigent on the right team because, you can perceive the good and the bad in every individual.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
But what I think is the most important is that you are surrounded by people you trust and that people you like. You could genuinely spend 2-3 hours in a dinner and you would have a great time. And as long as you are surrounded by that kind of team, you're fine and you
Yes.
will go forward. But definitely the foundation, and sometimes, I even realized we are young, extremely exigent, extremely, really entrepreneurs at the core, fierce entrepreneurs. And the most important thing is that we never had a single argument where one of the three founders would, I don't know, have a bad word to another one or even scream. It literally
That is really,
never
really
happened in 8 years of operations.
remarkable. Really remarkable.
Never. And so this is more valuable than the down-to-earth efficiency
Yes.
one would require from someone else.
And you transmit that to your clients.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. And it's a peaceful and calm managerial position to be in, and I'm really happy I have that team
good.
from day one until today.
So the business is going well and we're really happy for you.
Yes.
Really good.
It is. It's challenging though, and not every month is necessarily simple.
But I think that's what keeps us on our toes, no?
Absolutely. That's why I actually grew fond of that industry.
For me, aviation has been a long time. But what I like the most is that one day is not the same as the other. Never.
Like everyone
you
else,
never know.
Bela.
You never know. And meeting interesting people like Matt,
Thank
like
you.
makes the days even more special.
Yeah, it is.
We are in eBase, very important event for aviation industry.
True.
There's been a lot of discussion, especially on LinkedIn, on a recent debate, the CEO of Globair,
Yeah.
where
Bela
he's
Palma.
asking, do we really need eBase? What is your opinion on that?
First thing first, I like the fact that he's constantly challenging ideas, and that's also a mindset of an entrepreneur, without any doubt. Challenging yourself, because I didn't answer that in your previous question, but challenging yourself and never take something for granted is a key thing you must have constantly as an entrepreneur. And so in
Absolutely,
regards to
absolutely.
eBase now, let's face the truth, you said it, it's a human business and it's so correlated to human interactions and it's so small as, eBase and European business aviation is just so small that everyone knows everyone. But any relationship really completely flips once you meet the person.
Absolutely.
Because even a phone, even a voice, a nice email, an excellent and easy charter for both sides cannot replace, literally a real interaction like you and me right now.
Correct,
We didn't
correct.
know one another beforehand, and now when we'll cross one day again, we will have a total different
Different approach.
perspective and approach. And I think this is required. So the question is, would every company put the investment into visiting every operator? We do visit operators. Operators do visit us quite a bit of time, so it really relies on that. Is it more economically viable to all be meeting in one
It's
place
a great concern, the
at one
economic
time?
side.
Or should we actually, as Europe is pretty small in terms of main routes, Geneva, London, Nice, Paris are not so far away from one to the other, so we could also be meeting on a yearly basis like this? Good question. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, and to be fair, it's going to be mostly the main and the much bigger actors than us that
You
will
think
decide.
it should rotate locations to get
Very
maybe
good
new
question.
blood or change the format?
It could.
It
I
could.
didn't really think about it, so I would not share anything that would be wrong. But it's definitely going to change.
Yeah.
But I am convinced that shaking hands will remain, as much as I'm convinced that visiting the passengers and your clients at the airport and not only is valuable. Everything changes from that point onwards. We have, for example, a rule. We have 4 offices, so Zurich, London, Lausanne, and Paris. And every single time a flight would take off or land in an airport that is close to those regions, it is mandatory for every one of our brokers to meet and greet the clients.
Right.
And it's absolutely mandatory because this is the kind of relationship we want to build
Yes.
from day one.
Well, that's good. And I'm sure eBase helps you with that, for sure.
No doubt.
It's been another interesting aviation conversation. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt.
Thanks a lot.
I really enjoyed our chat.
Same here, Bela.
And if you guys enjoyed our chat, give us a thumbs up, share, and spread the word. Thank you so much, Matt.
Have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.